Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Playoffs of Life podcast with your host, Adrian Hatcher. This episode, we're going to be looking at the Miami Heat and do I feel like they'll win a championship in the Jimmy Butler era of basketball. With that being said, if you want to support the podcast, please leave a voice message on Anchor, Spotify, or any other podcast platform. And if you're listening on YouTube, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So, the Miami Heat, a conference finals bound team, they pushed the Boston Celtics to 7 games. They eventually lost, of course, in 7 games. And it seems like every year they make it to a place in the conference that they're not meant to be, or a lot of people don't assume they'll be. When you look at those Milwaukee Bucks or the Brooklyn Nets, when you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, you say the Miami Heat are a great regular season team, but they don't have the firepower or the star power to compete with these other teams in the league. And it seems like every year, the Miami Heat, they are underestimated and they end up showing everybody that they are the top team in the league. They were the number 1 seed in the East this year. And in my humble opinion, I believe they're a team that you have to beat to truly say that you won an NBA championship. You have to go through them. They always face the toughest teams in the toughest battle, whether through injury or whether through star power. Now you look at a Jimmy Butler and you say, that's a star. Is he a superstar? I think he's a superstar. I'm not sure how you may feel. If you feel like he is a superstar, then let's put some respect on his name. I know Jimmy Butler is a character, and I know there's been a lot of drama around him as a person and his personality and how he meshes with a team. But Miami Heat culture seems to vibe greatly with Jimmy. And I don't want us to look anymore at the stats that Jimmy puts up. It's been ridiculous. In the playoffs, he's putting up playoff career highs of 47 points. He's putting up 40-point triple doubles. Let's let this be heard. Jimmy Butler steps up when needed in the playoffs. It has been proven. And if you look at the stats, regular season stats versus playoff stats, Jimmy knows when the moment is upon him. He takes advantage of it. He knows how to prepare, he knows how to be ready, and he knows when to strike. And it gets them to the conference finals almost every year at this point. Now, you can also look at the Miami Heat and their supporting cast and how the culture they developed has led to so much internal development. If you look at players such as a Tyler Hero, he underwhelmed the year before in the playoffs. But this year he had a coming out party. He was basically a 20-point scorer off the bench. He was a spark plug that was very much needed in the run that the Miami made this year in the playoffs. If you look at Gabe Vincent, a Max Strus, a Caleb Martin, these are players that you did not expect much from coming into the season last year. And they stepped up for their teams and they showed why they are NBA players. Gabe Vincent was pretty much running the team as the point guard for the Miami Heat while Kyle Lowry was out with injury for at least half of the season. Max Strus stepped into a starting role not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs. He was so consistent with his 3-point shooting and his overall play that he basically replaced Duncan Robinson in the lineup, a player that the Miami Heat are paying $90 million to shoot the basketball from the 3-point line. That's how good Max Strus was playing. They basically said, Duncan, we need you to get it together, but until you do that, Strus is going to take these shots. And he was consistently making them. And then players such as Caleb Martin were role players that played their role. When they were asked to come and play, they stepped up. They did what they were supposed to do, and they humbly went back onto the bench to help their team win. They didn't care about the stats. Their play did show that they were a culture that depended on winning. And that's what the Miami Heat do. Kyle Lowry was injured for majority of the season. When he came back in the playoffs, though, he played great. And that's what they got him for. We all know Kyle Lowry wasn't going to be the best regular season player. He was brought onto the team to be for that playoff push to help Jimmy Butler get closer to a NBA championship. Bam Adebayo showed why he is still growing. His internal development has been more and more consistent. As long as he stays healthy, you believe he's still one of the top centers in the league. Undervalued center, such as a Draymond Green, but a great center nonetheless. And then you had a Victor Oladipo coming off injury the previous year. And he showed that now, if he actually has the time, not to come back to recover, but the time to develop his game even more, his $11 million one-year contract is going to look like a steal. I just want us to really evaluate the Miami Heat for what they are and not for what it shows on paper. Because what it shows on paper doesn't show what a real basketball team is. And in my humble opinion, the Miami Heat are going to be one of the biggest threats in the Eastern Conference. And these teams like the Boston Celtics are not going to have an easy time trying to get back to where they were this year. They can worry about the Warriors later. You need to get past the teams like the Miami Heat, who they focus so much on winning. They are so driven that it is so hard just to win one game against them. So with that being said, appreciate you guys for listening. Hopefully you gained something from this conversation that we have. Like I said, if you want to support the podcast on YouTube, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're on any other podcast platform such as Anchor or Spotify, leave a voice message. Appreciate the support, guys. See you next episode. Peace.